Good evening and live from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. This is Dr. John Stamey, and I want to welcome everybody to Scarycast. We got another bang-up show tonight. This is going to be a lot of fun. We got our guests who are from Utah tonight, and so it's going to be great. Our co-host tonight is Matt Delph from Ewing, Virginia, the town with one flashing yellow light. How you doing tonight, Matt?
Doing good. Doing good. Glad to be here.
We are really glad to have you here. Always glad to have Matt Delph. He's a vampire hunter. He's a Bigfoot hunter, and he goes out there and he doesn't care. He's going to go find what's out there. Right, Matt?
That's exactly right.
Okay, now I'm gonna read my piece of paper because first of all, from Blue Ridge, Georgia, we've got Les Durant, our good friend who's been with us a number of times, and he's going to be one of the featured speakers at the World UFO Conference in Clayton. Les, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fabulous. I'm here in Tooele, Utah, and I'm here for my dad's celebration of life, and everything's going good. I'm being able to see a bunch of people I haven't seen for a long time, and so that's great. I'm not going to really dwell on that, but I'm experiencing one of my bucket lists. I'm literally 30 miles from Dugway.
Yeah.
And
well, technically it's 45.
Yes, so that is area 52.
I worked there for 2 years.
Really?
Yeah, I was on their SWAT team for 2 years.
Really? Okay. All right.
So cool. And you know what, Les? You are there with two new guests, and I hope they're going to become Scarycast regulars because
that'd be cool.
All kinds of guests from all kinds of places, and we've got Jared. How you doing tonight, Jared?
Doing good. Doing good. How are you?
Great. I'm doing wonderful. And then we have Jimmy. Is that right, Jimmy?
Yeah, James.
Okay, Jimmy. Yeah, James. And you're on the other side of Les, and we're so glad to have both of you. Now, Les, I want to talk to you.
Yes.
You brought these wonderful guests on. So tell us a little bit about why they're on here. And then I'd like for each of you, our two guests, to talk to us a little bit about what you do. And then Matt and I will, after about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, we'll start asking you questions about what you've talked about, okay?
Sounds great. Okay.
All right, Les, you're on deck for Scary.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Well, first of all, I want to thank Jared Anderson for hosting me in his house and in his studio. I'm just very thankful for that. Yeah, I couldn't do it without him. I'd have to do it on my phone, and that's not something I want to do. And we were planning on having a get together earlier anyway, so it worked out very well. So thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
And you have. And how often do you do your podcast?
It's every Friday, sometimes on Wednesday, depending on I do a political podcast where we interview local and national candidates for office.
Awesome.
So it's sometimes on Wednesdays, but every Friday.
Well, that's cool. And then James, okay. And how did I meet you?
Through Facebook.
Through Facebook. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then did you ever have a podcast?
No, I actually just helped out Jared and his sister with their podcast. That's
okay.
What I do.
All right.
I help them find guests and stuff.
And
I did through Facebook.
And you've had some experiences as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And should I have him? Do you want me to start first, or should we talk to him about his experiences?
You start first because you're an experienced Scarycaster.
All right. All right. Sounds good. So here's what I want you guys to do. Both of you guys, I want you to go to Google, and you can do this too, Matt, if you want. And what we're going to do is we're going to search something. So I'm going to do this with you. All right. And this is how I'm going to do this at the UFO conference. Okay. So you're going to go to Google search. You're going to type in the word magic, MAJIC.
Oh, okay.
I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
And then Reagan, Magic Reagan, space Reagan. So MAJIC.
Reagan, like the president?
Just like that. Magic Reagan. MAGICREAGAN. Magic Reagan. Just like, yes, go ahead and tap.
Okay.
Go ahead and tap that, and it's going to take you to something. Okay, you're going to see object. You're going to see worm file.
Got it.
Okay.
Oh, I guess that's
Go ahead and click on the worm file. Click on the worm file. It'll download.
Yeah, it just kind of messed me up.
You're fine. It's right there.
And trusting people telling me to go on Google and search something.
Okay.
Last time I did that, they sent me to
And if let's see.
a visual
If
nightmare.
it doesn't download, then just keep trying it.
Okay.
Did they put you in jail, in Google jail?
No, they sent me to a little
You might have to
unknown
go
place
back out,
called
go back in.
lemonparty.org,
There
and
you
I had to
go.
wash my
There you
eyes
go.
out.
He's got it. Okay. He's got it. So I'm going to download it as well. Okay. Did you find it, John?
No, I'm just watching. I'm hosting. I gotta make sure we know what we're doing. So
Okay.
I'm watching carefully. Okay.
Okay, good. All right. So these guys are on the same table with I am.
Mhm.
And so now I guess, Jared, I would ask you, do you believe in UFOs, sir?
I have no clue.
Okay, good. Okay, here's what I want you to do, because this is great. This works out perfectly.
Okay, well, I guess you got to define it. Do I believe that there are unidentified flying objects? Yes.
Okay, so
Do I believe they're specified as anything beyond that? I have no clue.
okay, all right. So this is great. This works out well then. Okay, and so what I want you to do now, where did we get this from? We got this from the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay, so you're going to scroll all the way down to page 19. So you can keep scrolling, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, all right. Okay, do you see that right there? When it starts to come out, it says top secret eyes only.
Right there.
Yep, great. So this is Majestic 12. Now, we're not going to go into Majestic 12 right
Oh
now.
my goodness, Majestic 12. Now, Les, would
Right?
you please quickly give a lot of our listeners who do not know about Majestic 12? Can you give us the 60-second explanation?
Yes. No, I'm going to let him do it. Go for it.
You gonna let me do it?
Yeah,
Well,
right here. Read that top part.
all right.
Probably went
The
too
top
far,
part
didn't
of the page.
Yeah, right here.
Okay,
Operation
so
Majestic 12.
Operation Majestic 12 is a top secret research and development intelligence operation responsible directly and only to the President of the United States. Operations of the project are carried out under control of the Majestic 12, Magic 12 group, which was established by special classified executive order of President Truman on 24 September 1947, upon recommendation by Dr. Vannevar Bush and Secretary James Forrestal. See attachment A. Members of the Majestic 12 group are
And you don't have to read all that.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, I want to stop everyone
Mhm.
and I want to tell you what was broadcast. It was the most incredible thing that was ever broadcast in the history of the United States. It was on the Jay Leno show, okay? And President George W. Bush 43, was on there, and he was answering questions from the audience. And President Bush 43, I swear, I don't know why he did this, but a young girl said, President Bush, can you please tell us, is there anything going on with UFOs? Are they real? And do you know what his answer was?
Hmm.
His answer was, I can't tell you. And what that infers, using in inferential logic, that says, I can't tell you because there is something.
Right.
And I thought that was the most incredible answer that any human being has ever given on live television. I can't tell you. Well, that tells you that there is something. All he had to say was no. You know,
Yeah.
that's all he had to say. If he wanted to keep anything secret, all he had to say was no. But what he gave us was the answer to our question.
Yes.
And that is the most incredible answer. I don't know if it was a gaffe or not. I don't think it was. Bush is a lot smarter than people think. And I
Okay.
thought that was one of the most incredible statements ever done. And that's, you know what? I got to say this and then I'll shut up and let you get back. You know what? It's like when they had Phyllis Diller on Mad TV live. Mad TV was never live after this episode. They said, here's Phyllis Diller, one of the greatest female comedians in the world, the queen of comedy, Phyllis Diller. And she started laughing. She said, the queen of comedy? I thought that was Paul Lynde.
No,
and we all looked at each other and said, oh my God, I can't believe she said that.
That's great.
I'm sorry. I've got to, replay the greatest Phyllis Diller comment in history. But anyway, please go ahead and please don't yell at me for taking over for 3 minutes.
No, you're fine because I do that all the time. Okay, so here's what you got. You got the names. I want you to scroll down just a little bit.
Oh, I jumped on mine.
It's okay. So just scroll down. You're going to scroll up just a little bit to in spite of these efforts. Okay, go ahead. And then James, I'm going to have you read it. There you go. And it looks just like that. So just right under the one with the names.
Just the one right under it?
Yeah. And then it says in spite of these efforts. So it's like right. Yeah, keep going. Keep up. It's right there. In spite of these efforts.
Okay, in spite of these efforts, little of substance was learned about the objects until a local rancher reported that one had crashed in a remote region of New Mexico, located approximately 75 miles northwest of Roswell Army Air Base, now Walker Field.
Okay, now finish with that last paragraph.
On 7 July 1947, a secret operation was begun to assure recovery of the wreckage of this object for scientific study. During the course of this operation, serial reconnaissance discovered that 4 small human-like beings had apparently ejected from the craft at some point before it exploded. These had fallen to Earth about 2 miles east of the wreckage site. Sorry, it's written in that old font that they used to write in before we had computers, and it's all blurred and splotched. All 4 were dead and badly decomposed due to active action by predators and exposure to the elements during the approximately 1 week time period which had elapsed before their discovery.
Which is false. Which is absolutely false.
All right, go ahead.
Go on with the absolutely false. It's
absolutely false because they were discovered the morning after it happened.
Okay, I see.
Because I want everyone to know that one of my very best friends in the world, it's kind of like another Matt Delph, lives in Roswell, New Mexico, and he knows everything.
Okay.
That's right. No, so I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
All I got to say is I've got my Bible here, and I'm just hoping that I don't get a knock on the door, and I hope it's not the Men in Black.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
A special scientific team took charge of removing these bodies for study. See attachment C. The wreckage of the craft was also removed to several different locations. See attachment B. Civilian and military witnesses in the area were debriefed, and news reporters were given the efforts to cover the story. They didn't add, I added that in. Sorry, guys. That the object had been a misguided weather research balloon.
All right. Okay. So, Jared, what does that tell you?
Well, that tells me that.
Now, how do I put this? This is from the Presidential Library.
Yeah. Well, have you ever read in the Library of Congress? You guys can check this. There's a letter there penned by George Washington that says in this letter penned by George Washington that Thomas Jefferson is the head of the Illuminati in these United States.
Okay.
So there's crazy stuff throughout all these.
Oh, okay, so that takes me to my next thing. All right, now are you able to pull up the file on there?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, on your thing.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
And actually, you go ahead and leave that. But can you open up a PDF file?
I don't know.
Okay, go ahead and try that and see if it'll let you do it on my drive. I want you to look
zip
for
drive.
And you're going to go back to the folders. No, I have to go back. Yeah. Go back to the original main folder there.
Okay.
Yep. And again.
And these files you got them came from the Reagan Presidential Library.
And I've other areas too. Go ahead and go back one more time. All right, and then you're going to go down to documents, and it's going to be UAP documents. Yep.
Right here.
Go back up.
Right there.
Yep. And then go down to org file at the bottom. Org. Okay. So Jared, how much do you think that the president knows?
This right here.
Yeah. Don't look at it.
How much do I think he knows? I think it depends on the president.
Okay. Do you think he knows quite a bit?
Depends on the president.
Okay. All right. So open up the PDF file.
Which one?
The one, just double click on it and you open it with however opens up a PDF file.
All right. Let's see if this thing opens it.
Yes, it sure does. Okay. Now, can you share the screen so people can see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing. There we go.
There we go. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Very good. Okay. So he's going to set up so people can see it. There we go. All right. So take a look at that file and look to see where the president lies in that file.
Here, let me zoom all this in real quick.
Okay.
I think, well, we do know that when Donald Trump ordered troops out of Syria, that was ignored. So I think it depends on the president.
Okay.
Were I to guess.
All right. So go ahead and open it up so you can see it a lot better.
Okay.
All right. Now go scroll down.
All right.
Okay, and read from the bottom there. Restrict. These are the security clearances of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So there's restricted, confidential, secret, top secret, PSI, and then USAP. But hold on. The president is right there in the middle, right? You see, right?
Yeah, it's 17
Uh-huh.
in the
And
top secret crypto.
The president is about 2/3 of the way down.
That's right. And then so read those ones above him.
You got ZD27, Orbit, Triad, Cosmos, Austral, Stellar, Ultra, Luna, Cosmic,
and Majestic. Okay, great. Go ahead and close that out. Now that we know that Majestic doesn't end there, but I want you to look up Cosmic Clearance just to see what Cosmic Clearance is. Can you look up Cosmic Clearance for me?
Cosmic Clearance.
Cosmic Clearance. Yeah, and you can open it up too. And to get Cosmic Security Clearance. There you go. What is it about?
Cosmic Clearance is security clearance for U.S. military personnel and government contractors who work with one or more of the 26 North Atlantic Treaty Organization countries. That's the NATO countries. It is essentially the same as U.S. top secret, but for NATO nations. Despite the all-powerful sounding title of being cleared at the cosmic level, normal procedures for access to any classified or restricted data dictates that a legitimate need to know and the appropriate level of clearance is needed prior to being granted eligibility.
Okay, so on here, I'm going to type in. So I'm going to read. Oh, sorry to interrupt. Oh, all right. So go ahead and read that.
I want to stop right now.
Okay.
I want to ask Matt Delph, what question do you have? And then oh gosh, there are paranormal entities here in my house because they're banging around already.
Uh-huh.
Matt Delph, do you have a question? And then we'll go back to you gentlemen with your discovery. Okay.
Well,
Yes.
I got a question, but it's not for them. It'll be for one of my research partners, the one that's head of our military group that we research with, which you know, Dr. John, you've had him on the show.
Yes, and
Operation Meadow Project.
I wish he liked me better than he does.
Yeah, Trey Hudson, he's intel for the U.S. government, and he was supervisor, and he was the one that was given clearance, from my understanding, to who could get into what, classified documentation. So I'm kind of curious. I may have to bring this to his attention and see what I can get from him. But he's pretty tight on his info, but he'll still share a little bit with us. But he's pretty tight on a lot of it. But I definitely have to bring it to his attention and see what he see his reaction.
That'd be good. So I'm gonna have James. I'm gonna have you. Okay, you found it. You found exactly what I found. James, I'm gonna have you read what cosmic clearance is.
The highest level of security in the alliance covered only most important information generated by NATO.
Go ahead.
And unauthorized access would result in an exceptional grave
damage
to NATO.
So that means if NATO was no more, then that Majestic would be the ones running it. Now, do you want to know who's above Majestic?
Mm-hmm.
There is a movie called Above Majestic, and you know who that is? The Freemasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which I must add, Trey Hudson is a Freemason as well.
Yeah, and because they have all the money, and the guy I used to work for is a Freemason too. Now you will also learn in this movie. It's called Above Majestic. I'll have you look that up. It's on Tubi. Above Majestic. It is above them is the reptilians.
The lizard aliens?
Yes.
So okay, hold on.
Okay.
You're dragging me in now.
Yep.
We can't. Okay, lizard aliens.
Yes. Reptilians.
What are they? Where are they? Are they here?
They're from Draco.
Okay.
Just want you to know they are here.
Uh-huh.
And just go move forward. Okay.
Right. Now you found it. Okay. Yeah. So James found it. Go ahead and tell us about Above Majestic there.
Okay, well, it says here, look at the original history and conspiracies behind Majestic 12, the clandestine group of military and corporate figureheads charged. Probably need to get the rest of that out.
There you go.
Okay.
Corporate figureheads charged with reverse engineering extraterrestrial technology.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like I kind of messed up here.
So go ahead.
Yeah, let's see. Read more. My phone's got it all.
It may not have that much more information on it.
Yeah.
Okay. So also I will add that Laura Eisenhower, who is President Eisenhower's daughter, is in this movie talking about having being age regressed. So what they do is they asked her to be sort of on the Space Force, right? And so I don't know if she had gone or not, but what happens is they would age regress people, so they would send them away for like 20 years, and then they would bring you back to the age that you left.
So they'd take you into space for 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
so that what it did is, because apparently space-time works different.
Yes.
Outside of the gravity of Earth.
Right. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to look up, go back to your PDF file and look up, I'll tell you what to look up.
Okay, go here.
Go back to the PDF or go back to my file drive down there.
Okay.
Okay. And then scroll down to teleport. There you go. Teleport. Great. Okay. Ooh, that's weird. Okay.
It's trying to open it.
Oh, okay.
Don't want to open it with that.
Yeah. There you go. And you can maybe right click and see what it opened with. Let me see what's just good. Firefox or something like that. Or yeah, there you go. Okay. All right. So go ahead and broadcast this.
Okay.
And then I want you to tell me what you think you see in this. Now go start at the top.
It says teleportation physics study.
Mm-hmm.
Eric W. Davis.
You don't have to tell all about that. But scroll down a little bit. And who is doing this?
Air Force Research Laboratory, Air Force Material Command, Edwards Air Force Base, California.
Let's go back up. See what year it is.
2004.
What year is this now?
It's 2024, so it's 20 years ago.
Right. So what they do is they are using a teleport device to be able to send people to the moon and to Mars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mentioned
that project-
warp drive in there.
I'm sorry.
Mentioned warp drive. It sounds like right out of
Mission Warp Drive. Yeah.
Isn't that project, was it Pegasus that was claimed to do that?
Gentlemen, I know all about Project Pegasus.
Okay.
All
I
right.
know
So
more about Project Pegasus than anyone you will know, except for Andrew Basiago.
all right. Now let's go back to my PDF file.
Okay.
All right, and let's see. Scroll up just a little bit. I'm looking for something that has to do with biological. Maybe it's under biological. Let's see. Maybe the test capabilities. No. Okay. Biological entities. Maybe. I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay. I tell you what.
So, I'm sorry.
Les, while you're looking for that, can I tell my story about Project Pegasus?
Yes,
sure
I
can.
would love to hear that. That's one that's interested me forever.
I'm gonna snag this from you. Here we go.
When I was getting my doctorate at North Carolina State University, which I completed. So I am truly Dr. John Stamey. What happened was I met a lot of people at the Ryan Research Institute. I was a research associate there. And what happened was I heard Andy Basiago on Coast to Coast AM. I said, "Oh my God, I've got to talk to
This is it.
him." And he said he had been with people on Project Pegasus. And what I'm trying to like fast forward. They sent children back in the past
Yes.
with Tesla's technology.
Yes.
Well, what happened was the question that they wanted to answer, and all I've got to say is I'm going to give all the credit in the world to the gentleman that came up with this experiment. He wanted to find out who shot Lincoln.
He didn't think it was John Wilkes Booth, or?
Sir, you do not have the answer.
I did. Was it not John?
I'm getting ready to tell you the
Okay.
correct answer. And this is the most amazing series of statements I ever heard from a human being. Who shot Lincoln? They sent 14 little kids back a number of times. And here is the result. 70% of the time, it was John Wilkes Booth.
Oh, wow.
20% of the time, it was Mary Todd Lincoln.
Really?
Time it was someone else. It was a myriad of people.
Are you saying this has to do with quantum mechanics?
Yes, sir.
So
Right.
was Mary Todd Lincoln involved in it on every timeline, or?
No, listen to me. 20% of the time, Mary Todd Lincoln shot her husband, Abraham Lincoln. And now, why did she do that? You don't know the answer. I'm getting ready to tell you the biggest answer of all time. Abraham Lincoln was gay.
I've heard that
Okay.
speculated about.
Really? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
you know what?
There's a friend of mine that's had conversations about that he kind of suspects him. You know, your Uncle Brent
Yeah.
suspects that.
Wow.
Here's the deal. In my opinion, there is nothing wrong if you're gay, you're gay. Okay? That's the deal. And so 20% of the time, Mary Todd Lincoln shot him because she was upset that her husband slept with another man.
Mm.
Wow. Wow.
So the answer to the question is who shot Lincoln is one of the most important questions of all time.
I wonder what she said, like Sic Semper Infidelis or something instead.
Well,
You know what
so
she said? You know what she said? Because I'm a psychic, and you know she said, "Fuck, this is ridiculous."
wow. So Jared,
That is the answer. We know who shot Lincoln, and
Hmm.
that proves the existence of multiple timelines.
yes. So do you know about quantum mechanics?
Oh, do I know about them? No, if I heard the word, yes. But
Okay.
I'm an IQ like 45 person.
It's okay. All right. So
I'm too far down the still related to apes trail to understand that
that's
stuff.
not a problem. See, I never took physics. I don't like math. I never did take any of that junk. But I saw this show one time. Have you ever heard of Nova on PBS?
Mhm.
Okay, here's what I want you to do. So you go to YouTube and look at Einstein's quantum riddle. So Einstein, it just looks like that. And
On
Einstein,
YouTube?
Mhm. Einstein's quantum riddle. It looks like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we don't want to play it here.
No, we're not gonna
No.
play it.
Yeah.
But
No.
here's the thing: is it goes from 0 to quantum mechanics literally within 20 minutes. So basically, it's what they're sending off these quasars and they're blinking, but every once in a while, one kind of gets out of sync, and it's that time. And so even when they're shooting light through these two slits, it splits, and it does weird things. So sometimes things get kind of weirded out. So not every time. That's why I say not every time John Wilkes Booth is the one who kills, but sometimes there's a little slit and things change.
I have
just
seen
a little
that test they did with the slits. When they shoot it through one slit,
bit.
it's predictable. But if they have two slits or more, it suddenly becomes unpredictable.
Right.
That's one of those cases where when they're observing it, that it's actually it acts differently than actually
when they observe it. Okay. So let's. I'm gonna just type this. I'm just gonna just say this. Let's do this. What is the quantum?
That reminds me, are you guys familiar with Project Looking Glass?
I've heard of it. Refresh me.
Well, okay, this is when they were sending people back, supposedly through the technology they got from these aliens and stuff, and they were sending them back through time. But they were having problems because a person cannot predict, like, for example, the future or the past, because they would send people that weren't Christian, that didn't believe in the resurrection of Christ. They would send them back, and there was no Christ because they didn't believe in it. So their reality that they were going back to is just what they believed. So that's where they had a big glitch in things.
So does this tie into like the multiverse? Like,
Yes.
depending on you,
Your reality, yes. Folding timelines, all that. Yep.
the thoughts on the multiverse is a mind blower that every decision you make, another universe pops in with opposing, or another million universes with the opposing decisions. It's too much for
You're creating your own reality. You're manifesting.
There's another you and another me in some other universe,
Right.
living a different life than what we're living here.
Yes, and that's totally real. Based on that too, and they explain that there are many universes. Now, the good thing about this is that God is over everything, which we already know. I mean, we are men of God. You know, here in Utah. I mean, we're members of the church.
I'm not. But
you're not. Okay, but
no.
I mean, you know, you are.
Mhm.
And so we know that God created everything. God created all the other gods. He also created all the multiverses. But it's stuff we can't comprehend. It's stuff we just can't comprehend.
Dude, I'm still too genetically close to apes to understand this stuff.
But But these are simple things, and this is what I lecture on too. Is these are just simple things that you can look at. I'm not saying you look at it now, but look at Einstein's quantum riddle, because that changed my life. I'm saying it changed my life. And then also look above Majestic. All right, now y'all want to look at some UFOs?
Yeah.
All
sure.
right. Okay.
Let's
This
do
is
it.
why I brought my SM player to you. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have you just we're going to drop a file in there, and go back to the file.
Here.
And,
Yep.
and by the way, I would like to welcome Dr. Trey Dunaway.
And then go back to. Or do you want me?
Hello, Dr. Trey.
Yeah. I'm sorry. That's nice.
Joined us. Dr.
right.
Trey, we're so glad to have you here.
Well, I had some technical difficulties, batteries dying, but I hope you can hear me, and I think I'm okay now.
You're fine.
It's that
And
solar flare activity.
Conversation. We've had one of the most interesting conversations Scarycast has ever produced, because I'm going to ask Les Durant to give us. You can't believe that I'm going to ask you to do this. I want a 60-second summary of where we are, so that Dr. Trey knows where we are.
A 60-second summary. All right, I can do that. So where we are, we started off with how to find out if UFOs are real. So I invited them to go to the Presidential Library of Ronald Reagan, and we downloaded the presidential handout, and we went to page 19 and found out that Roswell is real. You read it, Jared read it, and what was mentioned in there? There was entities that were found, right?
Yeah, 4 of them.
Okay, and then we also found out because of that, Majestic 12 was started, and President Forstall, or not President Forstall, but Forstall
President Truman
got that started. We also found out that Majestic 12 runs the world, or at least the United States, and then and above that is the reptiles and the Freemasons, and then we found out that you can be age regressed. I'm gonna turn off my phone. That you can be age regressed and be able to go back in time. And the way that and also, how do these people get off of Earth? Well, they have what? A teleport.
Yeah, they
teleport.
Project Pegasus.
Right, so they teleport. And this is found, this is United States Air Force. Now, the next thing I was going to have you pull up is biological effects on humans and entities. And you know where they do that at, right? Dugway.
Yeah, well, obviously when I worked at Dugway, I wasn't privy to everything that went on out there, but I mean, there's a lot of buildings and it's huge. It's bigger than Rhode Island. And
you will actually have a copy of all my files. I actually do have some nice files about Dugway. One that actually says not for FOIA, but it's all right. Okay, now we're going to look at some UFOs. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so now what I'm going to do is let's drop this in here. We are going to look at my very first UFO, the very first one that I got. And this is back in the day, C-130 followed by objects. Okay. And then here we go. Let's see. As seen over Circe. All right. And let's see if I can drop this in here. All right. Boom. Oh, let's try this again. Let's see. All right. Will that work? Oh, is it where it stuck? Let's go ahead. I'll let you try and see what's going on with that.
All right. Let's see if it'll just play.
Okay.
Might take a second to spool up.
And then if you can drop it into SM Player, it should work for you.
Okay.
Or we're just kind of waiting for this to see if it'll do it.
There we go.
Okay.
All right.
Or actually, if you can put it in SM Player, it's got the bookmarks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't. Okay.
And I apologize for the glitch, but actually the glitch is good because this way I know I'm not going to glitch it. I'm not going to glitch at the thing.
You just keep talking while we.
So let's look at a different one now. I'm gonna go off the subject here. We'll just go back to another one and drop that in because I think that file was a little messed up anyway.
What do we want to drop in?
So let's go back to my folders over here on the UFO Raw. There we go. Okay, and best of UAPs. Go back up.
Now,
Yeah.
now, why did they change
Very-
the name
very
to
top.
UAPs from UFOs to UAP?
UAP UFO.
Um,
All right, and best objects.
to keep us on our toes.
Okay, let me see which one
We
I
were
want to look like.
we recognize terminology.
Okay, let's do most beautiful UFO.
Most beautiful
It's
UFO.
at the very top, actually. That's a very, very, very top.
Oh,
Yep, that right there. You go. Okay, here's
Okay.
what I want you to play this. And I'm sorry, drop it into SM player if it'll let you do
you got
that.
to open up the SM player again.
Yeah, go ahead and go back to the UFO Raw.
Okay.
Yep, and then back again. There you go. Now, if anybody wants software. All right, and then just keep playing. Okay, now if anybody wants to do this, you can go to my Google Drive and you can download all of this that we're doing right now, even the SM player. Go ahead and scroll all the way down there. All right, thank you so much. Very good, SM player. Oh, nope, the other one. There you go, right above that.
Sorry, we should have.
You're fine.
We should have test run this before.
It's all right. Now just leave it as is. Do you want me to drop it in?
Yeah, you go
All right,
ahead.
I'll go ahead and drop it
You
in.
know where everything's at.
Because I'm going to show you how to do this. I want you to be able to do this on your own as well. All right, so let's just come over here. The good thing about this is that it has all my bookmarks because I have a lot of different bookmarks. And all right, I'm gonna let's do this here. Gold fly, 3 objects, sky pearl, multi, slow object. You can see all these. These are the ones. Okay. And let's do, all right, this one right here. Sorry about it. I apologize. It's taking a little bit of time. Object appears and disappears. Okay, here we go. Oh,
Okay.
all right. I apologize. That is not the right one. I thank you so much.
While you're working on this,
Yes.
I came in, I was backstage when we were talking about John Wilkes Booth and Mary Todd Lincoln assassinating President Lincoln. Where does this information come from?
Oh, so that is actually, go ahead and tell him on that, Dr. Stamey. Here we go.
Well, this information came from a personal interview with Andy Basiago,
Yeah.
who was part of Project Pegasus, and he's the one that told me about this, and I believe.
And then you were going to let it play.
Here, let me talk real quick.
Oh, sorry.
Go on.
So what
Just minimize it.
data that Andy had on this?
Andy was one of the children that was sent back to 1865, and with Tesla's technology. And I know it sounds fantastic and crazy, but he was. I verified this with him, and he was sent back there. And he told me that 70% of the time, John Wilkes Booth killed President Lincoln. 20% of the time, Mary Todd Lincoln killed President Lincoln, her husband, and 10% of the time, it was somebody else. And I know that just sounds absolutely crazy, but that is probably the most correct assessment of the situation.
Okay. Has sending people back in time been replicated other than with Andy?
It has been by the federal government, but they do not want to talk about this.
Yeah, Laura Eisenhower knows all about it too.
I might
Seriously.
have kind of a question that when they're bringing all this up, what you gentlemen might think about the whole idea of a simulation theory.
Yes.
What you might think about that. That's been something I've heard even by mainstream scientists.
You
speculating
mean
that maybe
from
there's
those
a simulation.
documentaries, The Matrix?
Yeah.
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 Exactly.
I've got a good friend of mine too who also believes that it's all a simulation, but a lot of people do.
Mhm.
All right, so we have this up now. We've got this is SM Player. It's freeware, and I have it basically set. I've got to now right click on it in the middle, and then go down to yep. Keep going down. Oh, see if you can bring that up a little bit. There you go. Go to browse. Okay, go to bookmarks.
Okay.
Okay, and then object at 820.
Okay.
Now what I'm going to have you do is kind of zoom in. The way that you zoom in is you're going to hit the E. Just kind of zoom in a little bit. Okay, right now, and then go ahead and hit the space bar. Let that object play.
Was this one you did here in Twilla? Or?
No, this is actually at in Mineral Bluff.
Mineral Bluff. Okay.
Go ahead and hit the space bar, and the object is going to drop.
Okay. What was it? All right. Okay. So the object's going to drop right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Is it slow?
um.
Or let me see if I can try it one more time.
All right.
Yeah.
But while we're playing with this, this Project Pegasus is an interesting thing. I enjoyed the story. I've listened to, I think, Andrew Basiago's conversations with Art Bell, but my question, the whole story is amazing, but the Mary Todd Lincoln shooting Abe, I'd never heard that, and I don't know why. Even listening to the stories, I haven't heard that, but that's shocking to me.
Well, I mean that's what Andy told me.
Did
And
all
he
of
told me
the
that in a private conversation, and that's the whole point. He didn't want to release that on everybody, and probably I'm not doing the most wise thing in the world, but that's what he told me.
Well, did all of the murders / assassinations occur at Ford Theater, or was that just 70% of the time?
That's a good question.
Yes.
It would be important to know where Lincoln was shot.
And she was sitting to his right, so she would have shot him in the side of the head versus the back.
You can go and switch it back if you want.
Yeah, but I think that would have gotten some press.
And I wonder if she'd have had a cool saying afterwards. That's a big thing for me too. Because that saying lives on, Sic Semper Tyrannis. That's even a villain said it. It still lives on.
Well, sure, but that's if John Wilkes Booth was the assassin. Mary Todd Lincoln probably, maybe her motto was, I think I left the stove on or something.
The play was good.
a Latin call sign, oft poor Abe. So where is the evidence that this is real? Because it doesn't real to me.
Well, apparently there's no evidence if we live in the 70% world that John Wilkes Booth shot Lincoln.
Oh, so like a multiverse. So 70% of the multiverses.
What did you just say, James?
Multiverse.
Wilkes Booth.
Or actually the simulation.
20%
The
of
simulation theory.
Yeah.
other worlds, it would have been Mary Todd Lincoln shooting Abe for presumptively other reasons. Booth, and then 10% of the time was miscellaneous people. It could have been Christy Noam because Abe was untrainable.
Because he was untrainable.
But he was travel to do that, I presume.
Not to get off on a tangent, but was she trying to ruin her political career this year? Was it a goal?
Mary Todd Lincoln in the 70% that where Booth was assassinating Lincoln, she wasn't in a political situation. She could hardly. She was having significant interpersonal problems.
Her son. What was his name? Was it Robert? had passed away a year and a half earlier or 2 years earlier.
Yeah.
And she was out of her mind. She got institutionalized a few times. And I imagine being institutionalized in 1860 was a treat.
She was institutionalized, but she was certainly under physician care.
No, she spent time in a
lockup.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Now I'm sure it was a pleasant lockup for the wife of the deceased president. I'm sure it wasn't the lockup that I might have found myself in those days. But
this was after, but before, if she assassinated him, before that, she was in a lockup. I don't think so.
No, not before, not while he was president. No.
Only afterwards in that 30% time. Or did this also occur with the John Wilkes Booth storyline?
Those are big, heavy questions, aren't they?
Yeah, but they're not hard to answer. I mean, if all of this stuff has been documented, at least in the 70% multiverse, that Mary Todd Lincoln was not the assassinator of Lincoln. So these aren't difficult questions if you read history. I don't know them, but this is pretty well documented in the 1860s. So I think it should be pretty easy to do a fact-finding mission in documents from the 1860s.
Well, I mean, I think what they're talking about is when the kids went back in other timelines, it was Mary Todd that killed him. Obviously in ours it was John Wilkes Booth, and he was a part of a conspiracy of 14 people. There were 10 actors, one hotel owner, a lady that owned like a hotel motel, and two guys that owned a theater.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like in a conspiracy, and they had kind of plotted and planned it out. And John Wilkes Booth was extremely famous. He was like Brad Pitt of the day. He was popular both sides of the Mason-Dixon line. He was, a sought after actor, but he was also a Free State sympathizer. And I think he got caught up in the moment, which, we've seen actors say and do kind of crazy stuff before. So
reality show actors. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, we went away from UFOs there.
Oh, okay. So that's okay. No, that's okay. So
just a little sidestep.
Think about it though.
The multiverse.
The multiverse. If these kids are being sent back, you got to question. Okay, of these kids, what is different about them? Why would this percent see this, and what percent would see that? Were they educated through our history? Because I mean, you think about it. We're programmed from birth. The government has programmed us from birth. We got to go to school. We got to learn their programs. Got to learn their history. They tell us everything like that. Now, are these kids homeschooled?
You are 100% correct.
So if you don't go to school, what happens? Truancy. Who gets in trouble? Your parents and so forth. They force you to go and make your kids learn this program that they're just straight from the get-go. They're programming, conditioning our mind to think the way they want us to.
Yeah.
Now, so I'm wondering if this 30% or 20%, if they didn't go through history like that, or they were homeschooled or just unaware, didn't pay attention in history, if they had a different effect on them when they went back, because in Project Looking Glass, the non-Christians that didn't believe Jesus was resurrected, there was no Jesus when they went back in time. That's what the government was having problems with, supposedly. It's just,
that's a good point. How old are kids when they learn about John Wilkes Booth? What, 8th grade, 9th grade? What if they nabbed a 7th grader? They go back, they just know Lincoln was killed.
Was there a reason they chose to send children back in time? And what was the mechanism of the back in time part?
The reason that they sent children back in time was because they were less likely to be hurt by
Mhm.
transfer from this time to the previous time. That was the whole point. Is
They hadn't
they
been conditioned as well as an adult.
And they're
Okay.
probably smaller and cheaper on electrical costs.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So here's what we've got. This what is what we're going to show you right here. I have to give you a little bit of a description of where I live. I live 1,900 feet up on a mountain. So basically, if you could, 1,900-foot mountain up there, surrounded by trees.
Mhm.
So we'll just say pine trees. I don't have a view probably much bigger than a couple of houses around here. But the view that I get is actually pretty good. It's one of the darkest skies anywhere in the United States. And so one night I was aiming my camera out across and caught this.
Okay.
And you might want to, if you want to zoom in on a little bit. Now, a lot of people think that this is a Chinese weather balloon or a Chinese lantern, but if you look up there, there's some extra dots.
So you want me to zoom in a little more here?
Just a little bit, yeah.
All right.
And just kind of leave it
Would
on
that
that.
be a good center right there?
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. Go ahead and show that, but show it that white and don't hit the play button yet. But can they see that on there right now?
It should be up.
Okay.
Do you guys have it up on your screens there? Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. And see how big you can make that.
You want me to go bigger?
Yeah. Just kind
That's
of
right.
because you want to zoom in on that object.
Which object? The one on the right
The
or
one down there, the brown one.
the brown one?
Yep, the one that looks like it
The
has
bronze colored number
yeah,
right there.
the one. And go ahead and hit play a little bit.
All right.
Oh.
I got to hit play in this thing apparently.
Yeah.
Okay.
See how it changes? The lights change. And that's it.
All
Boom.
right.
Okay. So with that, if you want to go back again and towards the end and try to zoom in and just kind of pause it when
Go
it comes
back
up.
towards the end of that video.
Yep. And it's just pause it and make it really big. So you just kind of
Okay.
scroll it there. Yeah. And got to go back just a little bit there. Yeah. There you go.
Right there.
And
Okay.
maybe even more, yeah, maybe even more, just a little bit, because see how the lights come on? Yeah.
Okay.
Now zoom in on that.
That's what you were saying on the video.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we'll try it.
Now, could you give us a size comparison to the lights that you've seen?
Yes. This could be compared to maybe the size of a car.
Okay.
All right. And if you look very, very closely, you see an occupant. What looks like an input. And I'm going to show you. There we go.
I'll scratch it in as far as I can go with it.
And it may be that if you look just really close, that you'll see something moving inside of it.
While you play it?
Yeah.
All right. We'll see if it stays in there. Oh, it popped out.
All right. So let's do this. We're gonna make this even better. This will be so much easier for you. Go ahead and close that out. We're gonna minus the videos for now.
Okay.
Let's go down to UAP again in my folder. All right, and just go back. Yep, and then go
Here,
back.
I'll let you take
All
over.
right.
I'm
kind of a computer geek.
you'd be the computer geek, and the multiverse theory it intrigues me. Then again, so does AI destroying us. I mean, all of it. I mean, I've seen all the documentaries. I've seen Terminator. I've seen Matrix.
Have you guys heard about the book, The Last President? And, the Adventures of Baron
Donald
Trump?
Trump, yes. Yes. It was written in like 1890.
Yeah. And they talks about him time traveling and stuff. And supposedly, whenever Tesla's technology, after Tesla died or whatever, that it pretty much in that book kind of predicted a lot of the future. Suppose, if you look at it and you can see where they're getting everything from. But I believe it was either Trump's.
It was his uncle. It was Donald Trump's uncle.
That was
like
head
the
of
manager of the hotel that Tesla died in.
Well, no, it was he was head of the CIA or FBI, one of the two that went in. They gave him to go in there to see if he had, some of his technology and stuff.
No, Donald Trump's uncle was the one that opened the door for them. He had carte blanche with the hotel room for a couple hours before J. Edna Hoover's people showed up. But
Okay.
Donald Trump's uncle was like a
Listen, so that you know, when Tesla died, and I believe it was 1943,
Mhm.
all of his documents were taken.
Mhm.
All of his documents were taken. And I was like within 2 weeks of being able to get some of those documents, and I couldn't get them because they'd already taken them. That is for real. All those documents were taken, and it was all over.
I think the question is did Donald Trump's uncle, while he had access to that room before the FBI got there, actually, I think they were just the BI then. I don't think they were the FBI at that time. They might have just been. But before they got there, he had full access to that room. Did Donald Trump's uncle get some papers of his own?
We don't know. We do not know, do we?
No, that's a wild theory, isn't it?
Yeah,
So I found a picture. I'm just going to show it to you, Jared. And John, I know I'm going to need to add this for the convention because I will bring my computer for that. But this right here is a close up of the golden object. Does it look like there could be an occupant inside of it?
Maybe, I don't know.
You can
It's
look
got a crazy shine on it. Send that in Messenger and I'll pop it up.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. That would be very easy.
But yeah, the adventures of Baron Trump are awesome. And Baron Trump's like teacher is named Pence. It's just
everything lines up.
You can't make this stuff up. You're like, seriously, it's insane.
There's no such thing as coincidence.
It's
exactly no such thing as coincidence, no such thing as luck. All right, you should have that.
All right.
So this is kind of what we're looking at.
Yeah, we'll get it pulled right up.
So what I did is I sent him a close-up copy of that picture. There we go. And then go from there. Yep.
Let me pull up another capture here. Yeah, it's I don't know. The world is just insane to me. And now they're blazing forward with AI and they're going to put chips in our brains. And then they invent an ink called Lucifer. What am I supposed to make of this?
They know where we're all at because we hold these little phones that tell them where we're at.
And they tell you what videos you watch.
They've got satellites that can zoom right down in on us right now and watch it. So.
Yeah.
They were saying, what was it, like 8 years ago, or 5 years, whenever, that Facebook could predict when you were going to go to the bathroom by your Facebook usage, which means everybody, you dirty buggers, you need to clean the screen of your phone. If you're on there, reading there, clean your phone. All right, so there's a zoomed in of it.
Okay, so this is a zoomed in bitmap picture of the golden object, and to me, it looks like that there is an occupant. But I will tell you more about this picture.
That went sideways on us. Sorry about that, guys.
That's all right. You're doing a fabulous job. Thank you, sir. I really
Mirror
appreciate it.
Universe, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, there we go.
We're back in. The
All right.
multiverse just happened to us.
Yeah.
Jared, what do you think about this that I caught?
It's interesting. Okay, to me, it looks like a bullet, but I watched it move Bullets don't move that slow.
And you did see the white dots at the beginning.
Yeah, I saw it had what looked like 3 white dots along its kind of top, or to what I'm looking at, kind of the top right axis, and then it had 3 white dots down on the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so this right here is a hologram.
Okay, so
Possibly, or a
little Project Bluebeam. Now we're going to cover all of the good stuff tonight.
Right. Yeah. So now let's go ahead and close out of this, since we already looked at this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have you go. We're going to go back, and then I'm going to show you a Merkaba vehicle.
Oh, let me show. A Merkaba
Vehicle. Yeah.
You're talking the
MER,
from the Vimanas or Bhagavad Gita. I can never say that.
I'm going to have you look up Merkaba. MERKABAH. Merkaba.
This is our problem with, this is what I get into with UFO and stuff. My research partner that passed away, she had a Tennessee MUFON.
And I'm going to snag that from you if you want.
Yeah.
You got the whole UFO thing, and she always asked me, why did I not get into the alien? I said, I believe, the whole alien, all that stuff, but the UFO part is something that we'll never know because we're not in that elite group. Is this something the government is working on? They're not going to tell us.
That's another good point.
Or is it, something from out of this world? We'll never know either way because we don't have clearance to that classification.
How many people in the 60s were reporting the SR-71 flying at, as fast as it fast gets
Exactly.
in New Mexico?
Yep, exactly. So that's where I always, I'll never find an answer on, most of the UFO sightings, just for the fact that unless you watch it land and see an occupant or what, you don't know what you're looking at. But if you see a aircraft, is it military? Is,
All right. So this is what we're going to look at. James, I'm going to have you tell people just a little bit about what the Merkaba is.
Okay. It says the Merkaba was thought to be a divine light vehicle, a spiritual spaceship of sorts that transported people from one dimension to another.
Okay, awesome. All right, so now basically it's from Ezekiel's vision, and it's from Ezekiel 127, and we can go ahead and just pull that up just really quick. And you're actually, let's see, Ezekiel's vision. Here we go. By the Bible Hub. This is. It says, I saw that from what appeared to be his waist up, he looked like glowing metal, as if full of fire, and that from there down looked like fire, and a brilliant light surrounded him. Okay, so what these are, you're seeing all these little pictures, okay? And are you showing this right now?
No, I'm not.
Okay. All right, so this is what I did was I took my, and you do videos, so I took one frame at a time out of 60. So that'd be 1 second. So each one is basically a frame. So every time he's going to hit this arrow over here, you're going to see objects that change. You're going to see basic shapes that change.
It's not pulling it up.
And this would be the Merkaba vehicle?
The Merkaba vehicle, yes.
Oh, yeah. Order, it could be called a Merkabus.
Yeah, I'm sorry, what?
It could be a Merkabus.
Yes.
Like seating 55 plus a bathroom and a drive.
It very well could. Okay. All right. So see if you can pull that up down there.
Okay.
And okay, that's it right there.
All right.
All right. Do you see that?
What are those little arrows?
I'm sorry?
I see little arrows. I see
You're seeing the
5
cursor? Yeah, it traced the cursor on
Oh,
there.
okay.
It's not pulling it up very well, is it?
That's really strange.
We're onto it now. They're not letting us talk about it. They got
look at that.
They
Okay.
got the CIA on us.
We've got a bunch of solar flares going on too, so it's gonna be messing with our technology. So
you need to go to the Merkabus stop to see where it's parked.
That's right. Okay. All right. So yeah, that should. Let's see if we can go to the next one then.
Away. Oh, now they're all gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see what it does if I click this. Try hitting the forward button. See if. Not everyone's getting a good black screen.
Yeah, let me see if I can bring this up here.
Yeah, we'll let you.
Yeah. So I'm
manhandle
going
that.
to. Is that it? Right there. Okay.
But like I don't know. Like I did some pretty heavy dives into into artichoke and all of the offshoots of that, and it makes you really learn to not trust your government at all. Like at all. Like have you guys heard of Midnight Climax?
No, what's that?
Okay.
My version's probably different than yours, but go ahead.
No, it's not. Sadly enough. Everyone take a seat, smoke them if you got them. So the CIA in San Francisco, in Boston, in DC, set up a couple of brothels, if you will, and they put one-way mirrors in them, right? So they would go out and get these Johns, and the Johns would come back with the lady of ill reputes.
Yeah, yes, I've heard of this.
And they had a guy named Mr. White who would sit behind this one-way glass drinking a martini or whatever he drank, and they would go in there, and the lady would say, before we start, would you like a drink? Now, obviously they say yes, and she would LSD their drink.
Oh my goodness.
Pop their LSD in there. Wham, bam. The CIA had instructed them to always complete what you paid for because the CIA's honest businessmen. We all know this. And anyways, they recorded them. And they did this for years. This came out in the Church Pike Commission. Now, I want you to imagine how many big business guys or politicians got caught in this. And then we wonder why when the CIA goes in and asks for anything, like this most recent re-signing of the FISA and the change of the 702, why that gets done. It's because the CIA's, they're in. They've got information on all of them. I mean, we remember Feinstein coming out. They were spying on her, but it's called Operation Midnight Climax. And it's insane. When you read it, it would make, like I'm picturing you'd have all the classic comedic actors from the 90s in there playing parts. It'd be an awesome movie. It's insane. And they did this.
Here you go. If you can try to capture that.
Yeah.
All right. Is it showing on the screen now?
That should be. Yeah. Oh yeah. Whenever I did the whole screen. Did you guys see that a moment ago? Can you see that?
All right.
Okay.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So here we go. Every time I hit this, the picture changes. And see, if you want, you can zoom in on it. Or if you...
I guess what I'll say, this is Dr. John, and I'll say we have reached our time limit, but you all
I'm going to figure this out better next time. That's good, though.
Would you come back on Scarycast to complete this wonderful podcast?
If I come back, I'll come back. I'll have to mute myself because I want to also dig in more on all the other stuff too. We've got to. There's.
But we want to get you back next week, and I think this is going to be an incredible podcast next Monday night. So I will call each one of you. That's why I got your phone numbers. I knew it was going to be good. And so I will contact you and we'll see if we can put this back together Monday night.
And Dr. Stamey, I will tell you that this will be smoother because I'll have my computer all set up and ready to go. And so at the UFO conference, we're looking forward to that. We definitely want to invite everybody to come out. It's going to be, now is Dillard part of Clayton, Georgia? It's at the Dillard House?
No, it is at the food bank, which is in downtown Clayton, Georgia.
Oh, okay. All right.
What's the address?
So it'll be there. And so everybody needs to come. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Do you have the address for that?
Uh,
Should be on the
yeah,
website.
I don't know the actual address, but it's in the same shopping center that the Clayton Tribune is in.
It's on the website.
And the website is the World UFO Conference.
Yes. Now the distillery will be the night before the conference, right?
It'll be 47, and I'm sorry, I don't know the exact address, but it's 47 something in Clayton, Georgia. So everybody show up. It'll be a lot of fun, and we'll talk about it more next week. And I wanted to thank, first of all, our guests. Wanted to thank you so much for being here. And Les, I wanted to thank you for bringing our guests. And it's been a lot of fun. So
Oh, they brought me.
Oh, yeah.
They brought me. Yeah, James picked me up. But yeah, I want to thank you guys once again. Actually, it's at 48 Plaza Way in Clayton, Georgia. The
That's
Friday
right.
schedule starts at 3. That's when the vendors are coming in. And then we're going to be doing the roundtable at 6.
Now that will be at the distillery, correct?
Oh, that's so okay.
At the distillery, huh?
Yes, they actually do have a nice distillery. You get some moonshine and
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, if you get the
distillery, yeah,
Yeah.
and then Saturday all day from 9 to 5. It's going to be a blast.
yeah, and then Saturday's going to be the party too. So, I would love for these guys to be able to come. I know they're not going to be able to, but yeah. So it's a great thing. And Dr. Simi, I'm very thankful for what you do. And there's going to be a lot of people that are come, especially all my new friends from Murphy, North Carolina, who don't believe, but now they do. And the cool thing is I have people that message me when they laugh at me in those Murphy groups. When I post my UFO stuff, they come back and text me privately and say, well, you know what, I've seen some stuff. So now we have sky watchers in Murphy, and I call them up and say, hey, can you see what I'm seeing right now? So I've got 3 or 4 people in a range of 30 miles or maybe 20 miles that are all looking up at the sky the same time I am. And so what I've done here, and I'll tell you just really quickly what I've done before we go, is that I brought all my equipment. So I brought my full spectrum cameras. So I have, I think I might have caught some objects already on that. And then I've got a bunch of my cell phones that I use, which I told you about how I use the cell phones to record. And so, and then I also brought my 4K camera. So I'm looking forward to that. I will be taking my 4K camera to the funeral, and that is in Vernon, Utah. And and it's going to be 20 miles from or so from Area 52. It would be a bucket list to catch a UFO here. I've caught them in Tennessee, Georgia, Arkansas, and Texas. So Utah would be a nice addition.
If you want a good overlook over Dugway is from Vernon, you want to go over Lookout Pass. So
Yeah.
from Vernon, you head up, cut across, what the heck's the name of that? But Lookout Pass will be an elevated position where you can look down on most of Dugway. Rough part is operations end of Dugway is way out in the desert. You're not going to really be able to see it from there. Really, your best place to see it where it would be if you drove out to Aragonite, cut down and went out to Wildcat Mountain. That's where your best visibility of the operations end of it is. And you'll get to see some wild Mustangs out there, just some free range running horses too.
So I'm going to pull up one more thing before I leave. This is going to be everybody's homework. So we could, all right, here we go. Yeah. And all right.
Okay, what's our homework now?
Okay, so your homework is you're going to go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. Okay. And then type in Area 52. Oh, not there we go. All right. Oh, Area 52. And then you're going to receive this. You're going to see this, the unexplained zone. Okay, what is that? I'm going to let you read it. The unexplained zone.
See the unexplained zone? Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where's that at?
Yeah, right here. Just just read what it's about.
Right here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then that, and then more. Okay, there you go. Go ahead.
Oh, I see. In Dugway, Utah, there is a remote testing facility, sometimes referred to as Area 52. UFO watchers in this part of Utah have witnessed strange phenomenon at the military site over 10 years. Oops, it just disappeared.
Oh, that's okay. All right. So there we go. Close that out. Okay.
Let's see where we're at here. Oh, this is talk about area.
I will say Dugway's an interesting place.
Yes.
Secondary landing site for the space shuttle because it's got a really big landing strip out there, but it's huge. It's an open desert. Just it's flat land with a few mountains and
That's
nothing in it, and except for bombed out old vehicles just splattered around. So there could very well they could probably hide all the aliens out there, and someone who worked there intimately wouldn't know. It's that big.
And these guys, when we're done here, I'm going to show them some stuff that they probably have never seen, so that they probably like that too. But tell us a little bit more about Area 52. Does it? If you go to this unexplained zone, it will give you a really good breakdown of what Dugway is. I've got a bunch of Dugway information. And
I think we got to cut Dr. Stamey loose.
Yes, we do.
Everyone go check out Area 52 Unexplained Zone.
Yes.
And thanks for having us on. This was outstanding.
Thank you, sir.
This is
It's
fun.
been great having you on here. We'll be
Great
back
time.
next Monday night on Scarycast with more about Dugway Flats. And I've got a lot of history that I can share with you. Oh, Dugway Flats is a big deal. So look, thanks a lot. We'll see everybody next week, next Monday night on the one, the only Scarycast. We'll be back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Good night.
Have a good one.